mute button. Come on. Oh, that's the microphone. Whoops. Mute button. There we go. What's up, chat? Yes, sir. Back at it. It's a good day today. Turn the light on. Yes, sir. Leaning back up. I've cut a few pounds. I've cut a couple pounds, so I'm trying to get rid of this. Trying to get that. You already know what we're aiming for. So trying to get that nice athletic build back and going. For anyone that knows me, you know, I got out of prison about a year and a half ago, and I didn't come out with the perfect physique, but after about like 5 or 6 months in, I'm working at this restaurant job, and I mean V-shape, wider, chest fuller, arms developed, and it was a real strong athletic build. It wasn't like I was jacked or like, you know, genetically different or anything. I'm just an average guy, you know, average build, but I like to have a decent frame, decent physique. Also, I got a big head, so I like having a body that looks proportionate with it, you know. If I don't exercise, hold on, let me try to turn off this light. If I don't exercise, we need a light, I think. It gets bad quick. I look like I got a giant head, so we got to make sure we keep up with that stuff. And you just feel good, you know. I feel like that any addict, you know, in recovery, they need to have a foundation, you know, with themselves and their body. And when you exercise, you get all that dopamine flowing. You know, you get all the dopamine, you get all the endorphins going. When you're hooked to drugs or some form of substance, your brain starts craving the release from the drug. You know, like let's say you're doing an upper. When you do uppers, you release a lot more dopamine and endorphins from your brain that your brain doesn't naturally produce. So, you know, people that get addicted to their phones and video games and watching TV, it's all the dopamine that's being, you know, flying through the brain, and your brain's not trained to naturally produce that amount by itself, so it starts relying on, you know, your coping mechanisms to receive the dopamine, and that's how people get hooked to doing stuff. And so when you exercise, you're allowing your body to healthily, in a healthy way, produce all that dopamine and the endorphins and stuff. And so this, you know, exercising is a natural way to do such a thing. And so you want to exercise is really good. So let me teach you something about, like, here's a great example, METH, right? It's one of the strongest uppers and stimulants in the world, but, you know, your brain is not made to release such an amount of dopamine when doing that type of substance. Ecstasy, you know, the X pills and stuff, excuse my language, does something just as similar, you know, maybe a little bit less dopamine, but you release so much that now your brain wants to feel that again. It wants that release, and so you end up doing the substance more, and that's how people get hooked. And then, here's the funny part, when you do these substances and release all that dopamine and endorphins, your brain isn't going to produce that anymore on its own because it gets it from the substance. It's like drinking alcohol, right? You drink alcohol, and one thing that alcohol does is promote GABA production in the brain. So what the brain will do is it stops producing its own GABA and just receives it from the alcohol. So, you know, people that drink before they go to bed and, you know, get super drunk and go to sleep, that's the GABA. Now, I'm not saying you can't fight that off because some people will get energy from it, but that's just one thing that it does. But just like dopamine, the brain will no longer produce the GABA. And that's not good. We don't want that. That's why when people quit drinking, they sleep a lot. they might be sleeping a lot, but they're not getting good quality sleep. Hey, enough. Good. They might not be getting good quality sleep because they're not getting that hard REM sleep. And GABA has to be going and flowing in the brain to get that. Enough, baby. I got you. I'm going to feed you. When do I not feed you? Every time I eat something, I always feed you. Hey, not right now. No barking right now. We're doing something. So, today we're just, we're going to go hit the bars. And, I got Bayla's meat all right here. You know, she is never, I got 4 slices of meat out for her. She never goes without. So, that'll be a good, and she'll get a piece of cheese too, so she's going to get about 30 grams of protein. Hey, enough. Enough. I got the pepper jack too, but we're doing provolone cheese. Can't beat it. Walmart, it's like $2.50 for like 24 slices, but it did give me a couple crap slices. Hey, I got you. Calm down. I'm gonna take good care of you, alright? Let me make my sandwich. And so, also, before we go head to the park, they don't got the big containers. I like to get the big containers because it's like 20 cents cheaper and you get an extra serving of yogurt. But $2 bucks, $2.97 for some Greek yogurt. And these were like, I think a couple cents more. These are like $2.70. These are like $2.90. And they didn't have the big containers of the strawberry, which is my absolute favorite. No fat. I think there's a little bit of sugar in it, so it probably has, you know, a tiny bit. But it doesn't mention it. And perfect. Look at that. 13 grams of protein. 4 slices of meat. That's 20 grams. A slice of cheese. That's like 4 or 5 grams. And the bread has a couple grams of protein in it as well. So we're going to be getting over 40 grams of protein first meal of the day. Just got to, and I don't like to eat a lot of bread, but you need carbs before you go and work out. And since I'm hypoglycemic, I will be drinking a Powerade. I don't like to have a lot of sugar in my diet, but I am hypoglycemic. So that being hypoglycemic is like being a diabetic without needing the insulin. So if my blood sugar gets low, I'm going to pass out and faint. And we like to add a little bit of flavor, so we're going to put a couple of these bad boys on there. I know some people don't like pickles. And I always keep an extra jar of this with no pickles in it. And then I just drink the last one. I do a shot of vinegar every day. Sometimes 2. Until I run out. Let y'all see Bayla Rooney real quick. What's up, chat? What's up, top? And first we pray. Lord, thank you for this day. Hold on, baby. Hold on. Thank you for this day. Thank you for all the blessings. Thank you for letting us be alive and healthy. Thank you for letting me have another day. We're praying. Hold on. And thank you for this workout that we're about to go have after this wonderful meal. And, yeah, we're alive and healthy. I apologize to you, Lord, for all my sins. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Alright, so first we're going to feed the dog. Boom. She catches it, by the way. I don't think y'all can see me. I'm using my back camera right now, so I can't really see what everyone's saying, but I will be checking periodically. It's just my front camera does not like to work in the kitchen. Before we start story time, still good news. Last video I talked about how we got the job. 19 an hour, full time at Aldi's. We're still looking good. That we're waiting on the background check to come back. I just checked this morning. It is still being under review. I don't have the results yet. And please pray that everything comes back good, because when I got hired at Dollar General for being the assistant manager or whatever, this same background check did fail me. But I got into more in depth with it this time. I didn't provide my entire address history, and I did miss like a charge or two when I had to write all my charges down. Hey, enough. When I had to write all my charges down in cases and stuff, I did miss like one or two. I was able to autofill with a lot of things since I already did it before, and I could see. And I also checked. I could check it too for like 3 or 4 months. So I seen 2 red flags in the last one. I really took my time with this background check. It's through First Advantage, and you gotta like fill out everything on it. And you have to get real in depth with your criminal cases and stuff. You gotta like be on point with all the dates. So I looked up my and I didn't do this last time. I just kind of guessed. And I went in my court records, my public court records, and I looked for all of my criminal cases, my charges, the dates that I was incarcerated or locked up in jail, the dates that I got out. So we really went in depth this time with the background check. I have a strong hope that everything will work out well. I did some research. All these does hire felons, and everything went great. Everything went great. The interview went great. I had another interview with the district manager on Microsoft, not Zoom. The other one, it's like Zoom. It's Microsoft, though. Microsoft something. Teams. Microsoft Teams. It's like Zoom. And we had a virtual interview. I had one with the district manager, and he strongly recommended to the store manager that'll be training me to hire me. So she did. The Aldi's that I'll be working at, I know I'm just rambling. It was formerly a Winn-Dixie, so we're just waiting on the transition. And I'll be working at 2 different stores to train until my store is officially opened. I'll be at the one up the street, which would have been great in the first place, which is like 45-minute walk. And then I have to go to Spring Hill to do my pallet jack training. I've already used one, and I got a forklift license and everything, so I have to receive pallet jack training for shipments and stuff at Spring Hill. So I got to go there a few times. And then after that, I'll be at my store, which should take about a month or so afterwards. But I'll be working until then. I'll be at a training store until I actually get sent to my store. I start this month on the 31st, if everything goes out well. I finished all my paperwork. And I triple checked or quadruple checked this morning because today's the last day I have to do my paperwork. And I already quadruple checked. I did every form. I set up my direct deposit. I did the background check. I read all the policies. I signed all the policies, the drug and alcohol policies, workers policies, and safety and hazard policies and stuff. So we're all good to go, chat. We're just waiting on this background to come back. And like I told y'all, I felt something good coming. I felt the job coming. I felt interviews coming. And mark my word, I said once I get this job, I'm going to be investing a lot of money into this channel. Proper cameras, gear. So like I'll have the microphone, I'll have glasses, the smart glasses. I want to get one of those cameras that the bloggers use with the stick, and you hold the stick so it doesn't shake, and then you hold it and then face it towards you and stuff. Enough. And you already ate pretty much everything. I'll get you some more though. I'll get you a slice of ham. So let's smash this sandwich down, and then we're going to do a little story time. What was today's video? The rumor that started it all or something like that? Yeah, so we're doing story time. Hey, enough. I don't know, prison was just weird. You know, there was a lot of crazy stuff that happened. It's a very weird place. I spent most of my time at Union Work Camp. I was for like a year and a half before I started going to like Butler a couple more times, Polk CI, Largo Road Prison, St. Pete Work Release. One of the main jobs that I had was maintaining all the grass and all the weeds and stuff and keeping the lakes up to par, because you got a lake around every prison. And so I was always doing yard maintenance and stuff. And I did house maintenance for a while. And that benefited me real well because, hey, enough. My job position in prison, my first one, I actually got paid real money. I got paid 20 cents an hour. I worked at a sawmill, like a real sawmill. And I've looked up pictures of sawmills and stuff, and the assembly line, the machinery, everything's like a very similar platform, like the same thing you'd expect at a real sawmill. And so I was like one of the guys on the assembly line. We stacked wood pallets, and some of them you had to have two people carry it and stack it on a pallet. Hey. And then the other ones you kind of just had to pick up in the middle and make sure you balanced it right, because it's going to fall. And you're out there 100 degrees, 8 hours a day, so it's hot. But no headphones, no music. Some people did bring out a radio and got away with it, but you didn't want to do that. That lasted for a while. No, like 3 or 4 months. I went to the box. I woke up one day and I was getting ready to go to work. They wake you up at like 6 or 7. You gotta be at the door by like 7:30. Hey, and you get back by about 4:35, right before chow. I'm not feeding you my whole sandwich now. She's got dog meat she don't be eating. I just cleaned up over there yesterday. She got unlimited kibble, unlimited dog meat. Well, not unlimited. Unlimited kibble. And these are not mine. Don't judge me. Those are not mine. I did eat one though. And she always has water and kibble. She don't eat her dog meat till nighttime. She won't eat no dog food till nighttime. So she wants to eat our food. And I feed her. I gave her 6 slices of meat, 2 slices of chicken, 2 slices of turkey, 2 slices of ham, 1 slice of cheese. Enough. Enough. So, I went to the box because I got caught with a cell phone. Someone that I never really met him before, but he lived in like a town away from me. They called him Hot Boy. His name was Hakeem or something like that. Black dude. And he's like a dope boy, you know. Street level dope boy. Not like, you know, when I say street level, I don't mean like, oh, he was at the bottom. It's just street level, you know? And so, like, he got out. He's got like a Lambo and stuff now, like a Lambo SUV and an Audi, I think. So he's doing all right, but, you know, it's the wrong way of living. And so, real cool dude, like I said. They call him Hot Boy because he rides around dirty, whatever. And you need to stop it. Let me use his phone, whatever. I had it under my pillow. And they wanted to search my bunk because someone definitely stole and they found the cell phone under my pillow. I went to the box for 60 days and lost 6 months of pain time that I had to get back. Enough barking! Sit. Now. Tired of it. Got food. Get over here. Get over here. Come here. Come here. You need to stop barking. You need to stop barking. Enough. Okay? You need to go eat your kibble. She loves getting her neck scratched. Look, this is it. It's all gone. Don't look at me, that's it. That's all we got. I want to feed her a bunch of food, but I'm trying to get her to lose a couple more pounds. And I can't just keep giving her meat and going to the store and having to get more, you know. I got to start working, so everything that I eat, you know, I try to measure and weigh the proteins and make sure I'm getting everything that I need. Yeah, watch this, look at this. Wait till I'm done. Then, see? Now she wants to go over there. So, what's up, Potato? Hey, if you're bored, man, don't watch it. That's all I gotta say. If you're bored, don't watch it. You know, my life is not meant to entertain, and, you know, I'm just here with y'all. We're a community. We talk, we hang out. You know, I'm not gonna put on some act to try to sit here and entertain anybody. Feel free to watch. I hope you do. But I'm also going to be me and authentic. I'm going to be genuine. I'm not going to act like something that I'm not and rile everything up and do this if I'm not feeling that. Because I'm really not feeling that. I'm just chilling, bro. So if you're bored, hang out, leave, you know. Addressing it, I guess that's cool for me to know. But I'm not going to change anything that I'm doing to entertain that, you know what I mean? To fix that, in a sense, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So, it is what it is, bro. But, yeah, so I got caught with the cell phone. Went to the box. Then I got this job. This is where it all started happening. And, I think I told you guys a little bit already, you know, I helped bomb up the cigarettes. Dave was real crazy, bro. Like, I went with him to go pick up a drop one time because he would talk to this old lady who was like his wife or whatever. She'd been rocking with him for like 13, 14 years in prison. And so she would have everything in like bags. Like everything would be in grocery bags, and then it'd be in like a bag like this. Where are they at? I think they're outside. But you know, like the just regular bags. And she would have like all the cigarettes. Like she'd bring in like 4, 5, 6 cartons at a time every week. Every week. Cause you know she's getting the cheap cartons. The cheap cartons of 305 cigars are only like at the time were only like $13, $14. So that's only. But you could turn around and make, you know, $500 off one carton. So, you know, you have to get like a good amount of cigarettes every drop. Because you're only going to be picking it up once, maybe twice, if your officer's cool like that. And so, Dave made a bunch of money off the cigarettes, but he also had to pay Officer Bowman $300, $400 something every single week to keep the cigarettes there. So Dave could get like 6, 7, 8 cartons dropped off. I've seen him pick up 6. And then he would have more cartons of cigarettes if he had any from the last week, which he usually didn't. And they'd be in the shed up top in the corner. And he had like a perfect little hiding spot, had them all tucked away. And You gotta open up each pack. Dave was a beast, bro. He opens up the pack, pulls out the cigarettes all in one hand, squeezes them a certain way, and when he squeezes all 20 cigarettes, all the filters just pop right off. So, like, pours out the cigarettes, squeezes them a certain way, and then boom, you just see all the filters coming out. And then he'll just spit them all out. Do it again, spit them out. And real fast with it. Just starts getting the wrap and wrapping them. Boom, gets the tape, wrapping them again. Boom, he'll wrap it with like 3 saran wraps, like from like the sandwich bags and stuff. We'd get the bag lunches, and they would put your sandwich in a saran wrap. You get 2 sandwiches, and you get like 2 cakes or 2 cookies. Put them in a saran wrap. So, he's going to take like 3 saran wraps each time. But he had a whole box of it. Like, he had the whole thing. You could just like pull the saran wrap off. And, he'd keep that up there too. He could have a bomb of 20 cigarettes done in like 3 minutes. Not even. That's opening the pack up, pulling off all the filters, wrapping them a few times, and taping them up real good. And he was a beast. But when you're in prison for 13, 14 years doing 25, you're going to get good at some interesting things. So that's how that went. And, 1 pack of cigars cost $2. He's making $25 each. Sometimes it was dry. They could go $50. To me, it was always like 20. When we had a drought, and Dave was the only one getting cigars, and he wasn't really on the best of terms with his wife, because he was supplying the whole compound at one point. Like, people would come in, pick up packs of cigarettes from other dorms, and then go sell them to their people, And when it got dry, packs of cigarettes were going $50, $60. I mean, Dave was still charging me like 25, maybe 30. And that was my hustle in prison. I would buy a pack of cigarettes. I didn't have to bring them in or nothing. And I got paid every day to help bomb cigarettes. I wasn't as fast as Dave, but he'd throw me like 5 cigarettes every day. And I also would hold on to Dave's pack that he would have when he came back, because I already have a pack, so I might as well hold on to another pack, right? I would roll Dave up his cigarettes for him, and he smoked like a chimney. That's how. And then I would just roll one up for me too at the same time, because I rolled really quick. And I'm talking lightning fast. Boom, paper ready. Sprinkle tobacco. Roll, twist, boom, tuck it in, seal, done. I was a machine when it came to roll. Not in the beginning, but like after a couple months, you know what I mean? And just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. I was a machine, bro. Like, insane. And I've had so many people come up to me and ask them to roll up a cigarette. And, why not? As long as I get to light it and hit it a couple times, I don't care. I got you. And I had a bunkie like that. He always wanted me to roll him up a cigarette. Yeah, as long as I can, if I can light it and hit it a couple times, I'm straight, And that worked out pretty well. I would take, because I could get a pack of cigarettes for like 25, 20, depending on how much tobacco's in the compound. And I made a meal every night. I always had food in my drawer. Always had a bag of coffee, preferably 2. Sometimes I treated myself with the coffee sticks. Those were 20 cents a piece. They went up to 30. And they actually went up to 35 in the end. A bag of coffee started out at $6, ended up going to like 13. And I always ate. I would always have a thing of tuna, which is $3, a soup, which ended up coming to like 80 cents, a bag of chips became $1, and that was and preferably 2 soups. So it was like a $5 meal, $5.60. That was my go-to every night, and I always went to chow. And for a while, my goal was to be able to do a pull-up when I first went to prison. We're talking like way before the first year, like first few months. And I was like, dang, all these guys are doing pull-ups. I can't do no pull-up. And so we built a pull-up bar. We had our own little bathroom in our work area where we kept all of our zero-turn mowers and our weed eaters. Drilled in a couple spots, put some wood blocks there, put the pipe on the wood blocks, and drilled that in. And we had a pull-up bar. I started out doing chin-ups. And then as I got better and better, I spread out my hands more, my arms. And then I did the same thing for regular pull-up and started spreading. So I was able to do pull-ups and stuff. And one of my biggest pros, my biggest accomplishments going to prison, of course, sobriety. But by the way, strongly recommend these. Cheapest Greek yogurt you'll get. It's the great value kind from Walmart. And but strawberry, super gas. But sobriety and then just getting in shape. Because when I got out, I was doing the dang thing, man. Yeah, and I was unstoppable. I had a prison glow. I had a prison glow to me. It was like people just magnified to me. People were just attracted, like a magnetic connection. They just, boom. Whether it was jobs, promotions, girls, people wanting to talk, and people would just come up to me and be like, I don't know, I just seen you walking, and like something was, they would comment on having like an aura. I heard that multiple times, especially from like the younger kids. And so I heard one of the kids talking in the group, why does it feel like that around him? And then the other kid goes, that's his aura. And just interesting things I've never experienced, because my whole life growing up was just doing a bunch of substances and drugs and drinking, And then having now a 3-year bid in, 3 years of sobriety, basically, I had a couple, a couple times where I, dabbled around. I didn't drink in prison, and I didn't do like drugs. You know what I'm saying? Like there was what do they call that? A Suboxone. I took a little piece of that one time, and when I first went to prison, like my first day, my neighbor, he's like, "Hey, you want to hit this?" And it was just a regular joint. It wasn't like the K2 or nothing. But once I learned prison more and, seeing people getting drug tests and someone I knew from the streets getting drug tested and sent to the box, I was like, yeah, I need to stay clean. I didn't even know prison drug tested you, when I first went in. And I did not want to lose any of my game time. That was 6 months. I already lost it once with the cell phone. And I got it back. I didn't want to go through that again. You're going to see a lot of crazy stuff in there, man. I think they say, well, let me clean this up real quick. One thing about prison, don't worry about other dudes trying to like flirt with you and stuff. You ain't gotta worry about none of that. I haven't met everybody. I haven't been to every been to a good amount of different prisons throughout my time, and I've never, there's plenty of dudes who are already messing with other dudes. There's dudes that are dressing like girls, they're playing with their clothes and trying to look feminine and stuff. There's plenty of that going around in prison, at least from what I've seen. So, because people are more comfortable with their sexuality now, right? So, you don't have to worry about, some big giant dude and he's trying to, rip your pants off or something. It's not, never seen that happen. Never seen some big predator. I've seen big predator dudes, but I've never seen them go out of their way to bully someone to take their pants off or something. I've never seen that happen, or force them to, and like I said, I haven't met everybody, and I have seen videos too, and I've seen the booty war. I've seen all that. I know it's happened. I know it does happen, but you know what I'm saying? There's plenty of it going around. I wouldn't worry about that stuff. I'd worry about getting stabbed. I'm not saying if you go to prison, make the biggest shank you can, and some people like to dress it. They sharpen it at night, and they sit on their bunks and sharpen it on the ground real loud to advertise to other people that that's what they're doing. It's it's really the fear inside of them. They feel like they have to address that they have this blade so they can settle down at night, because that's their fear of actually getting stabbed. And I get it. That's kind of can be a scary thing. You could just be sleeping at night, and any of these dudes, 90-something of them in your dorm, could just, boom, real quick. No cameras, nothing to prove. Everybody's sleeping. It's a crazy thought. I'm telling you though, man, just you keep to yourself. Do not act like you're some hot shot. I don't care how much money you made in the street. I don't care how successful your business was. I do not care how, do not flaunt it, flex it, just act like, this will work for me. And I still got in 13 fights in prison, but I just acted like what I truly thought I was, just a junkie. That when I went to prison, that's truly what I believed I perceived myself as. I perceived myself as just some bum. I wasn't like a bum, but I perceived myself as one because I'm sleeping couch to couch. I'm carrying all these illegal substances on me. I might be making $100 today, but I could have just did that going to work. I wasn't what I was when I first started out, because that's what I used to like to imagine myself as. The guy that always had pounds of this and thousands of dollars that. I wasn't that no more, because I had a drug addiction. So all of my money first came to drug. And I started looking at myself as a bum. I looked at myself as a loser. I looked at myself in the mirror, didn't see who I truly was anymore. I seen a soulless, lifeless, drug-dependent junkie that, I only liked what I seen when I was high. I only liked what I seen when I was high. I only wanted to talk to people and do jobs and work jobs and hustle and this and that and flip this, sell that when I was under the influence. That's a loser in my eyes. That's someone who's constantly struggling. That's a bum. That's a junkie. That's a loser. I was 22 years old. I knew right from wrong. Did I know everything at 27? Which I don't know everything. No. But I knew enough. I knew to be better. And so I looked down on it, On one side of my family, not the side that I'm closest with, but they're all very successful. College, all types of college degrees and certifications, businesses, uh, and the side that I am closer with, only like one person went to prison, and maybe one or two went to jail for a little bit. It's not really too much. I'm like the black sheep, not anymore because I stay on the right path, but looking at the past, yes, I'm the black sheep. My uncle's doing a life sentence, and what really woke me up was starting to hear that more. You're going to end up like your Uncle Carl. You're going to end up like your Uncle Carl. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be stuck in prison my entire life. He's got like 3 life sentences. I think he just got one of them, taken care of. So he's got 2 life sentences. He's been trying to fight those for a long time. Since like the 90s. And that ain't cool, man. That's not the way to live. You gotta find what makes you happy. You gotta find what makes you happy, man. We are definitely not staying on topic of the title today. So, hey, my bad. I had the perfect intention of telling stories and this and that, but that did not happen today, so my bad, chat. We might be trying to not find a new niche, but I just like talking to you guys, I had the perfect intention of coming on here and doing a story time. That just did not happen today. I wanted to at least tap in with y'all, though. Still good vibes over here, man. Still good energy. We're trying to stay strong. We got Baylor Rooney in the cut taking a nap, and I'm about to be headed to this park here. So, like I told y'all guys, I'm gonna at least try to stay in touch with everybody, and it's the right thing to do. So. Brush the teeth, trim up, and then we're out of here. Think I charged this controller good enough? Hey man, that's one thing about me, bro. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. And I don't mean to bore anybody. I don't, but I live a regular life, man. I'm not. I wake up, I start my day, the dog comes first, I eat, I try to figure out how to make some money for the day, and go work out, and if I don't have much going on, that's it, bro. I'm going to work out, I come home, I hop on the game, I eat more food, and that's it, bro. Simple life, but it's my life. If I always had a problem just living a simple life. And I always had to be out the house and all that and stuff, but I've got all that out of my system. You get to a point after you mess around with these girls, you party and get the drugs and do them and sell them and all that and stuff. Eventually, it gets old. And that's what happened, Chad. It got old. So. Alright, I'm gonna do this and catch y'all later, though. I gotta take my shirt off, so time to go shave, and it's getting crazy looking. Time to go work out after that. So y'all be safe, have a good one. No bad news on this side. And glad to talk to all y'all. Be safe.